Hello YouTube, it's time for a new installment of Embarrassing Fanfiction where I read to you my terrible fanfiction that I wrote when I was 12 years old. In today's episode, we are still reading the story of Harry and Ginny's love life, and we are on chapter 4. In the last installment, in chapter 3, Ron had a weird dream about Hermione and Lavender, and that Lavender was a vampire. So let's see what happens in chapter 4. Chapter 4, A Turn for the Worst. Hermione dreamt about Ron in her dreams that night. She dreamt that she and Ron were married and had 2 kids, but someone invaded her dreams, and that person was Draco Malfoy. Every night he was popping up in her dreams. Her dream was... ... "Oh, honey, Lily needs to be fed," Hermione said sweetly to Ron. "Okay, I'll get the formula. You just stay here with Hugo and I'll get you 2 some food," Ron answered. He kissed Hermione's forehead, went off to get the food and the formula. Hermione turned to Hugo and said, "Don't worry, honey. Daddy's gonna bring our food in just a second." Hugo turned to Hermione and replied evilly, "I don't want your food. I don't want you babying me all the time. I want to be a free man. I want you, Hermione." Okay. That's a little weird. Well, I get that it's like a scary dream, but also it's her kid, so that's weird that I wrote that. And also, I'm not sure how old they are either, so back to the story. "Draco, why are you talking through my son's body?" Hermione questioned nervously. "How does she know it's him?" That's weird. Continuing. "Your son is connected to me. Hermione, come away with me. Get away from Ron and come with me to a romantic spot where we can be closer than enemies. Closer than friends," Draco said passionately. Oh, God. Ugh. Why did I write this? Oh, God. Hermione was a bit scared, and then Ron came back. "How are you doing, Hugo?" Ron asked his son as he handed him his food. Draco responded through Hugo. "I don't want you as my father. I don't want you in my life. I want Hermione in my life. I want her to be my wife." Good rhyming on my part, 12-year-old Tori. "Draco, why are you talking through my son's body?" Ron questioned. "How do they know it's him? Like, that doesn't make any sense." Hermione responded bluntly. "Oh, apparently our son has a connection with Draco. I don't understand, though." Just as Hermione said this, Draco snaked out of Hugo's body and started kissing Hermione. What? "Good night, Hermione. For good," Draco yelled as he pulled out a silver spear. He started to lift up the spear when... "Ah!" Hermione screamed as she woke up from her nightmare. She was breathing heavily. Ginny woke up as well. "Hermione, what's wrong?" Ginny asked. Hermione beckoned her closer and told her of her dream. Ginny was shocked and said, "Maybe this is showing you something about a connection you might have with Draco. Maybe a connection you don't feel, but Draco does," Ginny replied. Hermione glared at her, huffed, and went back to bed. Ginny just shrugged and went back to bed as well. Ooh, meanwhile, in Draco Malfoy's dream, ooh. Hermione was kissing Draco, not that ridiculous boy, Ron Weasley. Hermione pulled away from the kiss and said, "Draco, you're the one for me. I love you." Oh God, I hate this. I hate that I wrote this. Back to the story. "I love you too, Hermione. That's why I wanted to give you something," Draco replied, pulling a small box from his pocket. "Hermione Granger, I want to be with you for the rest of my life. Will you take the honor of being my wife?" Draco asked. What? "Yes, I'll marry you," Hermione exclaimed. Draco placed the ring on Hermione's finger and they kissed passionately. Soon, this kiss turned into a make-out fest. Obviously, because that's what I knew how to write when I was 12. Oh, weird. Not with just them. Ron and Lavender were there too. "Why are you 2 here?" Hermione asked. "We're engaged," Lavender shouted. She seemed a little loopy and she might have been drunk. "What a coincidence! We are too," Hermione said. She heard Ron growl and in an instant, Ron was tackling Draco. "Don't you dare hurt me. I'll send you off to Azkaban for physical abuse," Draco shouted while getting pummeled by Ron. "Come on, honey, you can beat him," Lavender shouted. She fell to the floor as she fainted, but Ron didn't care. He continued to tackle Draco. Then he threw Draco to the floor, ran over to Hermione, and kissed her. Draco was fuming. Get off my future wife! Go make out with your drunk girlfriend! Draco yelled at Ron. Ron pulled away from Hermione saying, sorry, just had to do that one last time. He walked over to Lavender and they suddenly disappeared. Draco stood there dumbfounded. Draco! Save me, I'm being taken by the devil! Hermione screeched. That is actually what it says there, and that is hilarious. Draco saw Hermione being dragged into the ground. No! Draco yelled. He tried to reach for Hermione, but she was gone. Poofed! Poof! Just when he proposed to her, she had to disappear. Draco was having a rough day. Oh, God. But as he thought that, he saw that Bellatrix was coming towards him. What the hell? Good night, Draco, for good, Bellatrix yelled as she withdrew a silver spear from her cape, of course. She lifted the spear and... Ah! Draco screamed as he was wrenched from the horrible nightmare. He was breathing heavily, but no one else had woken up. He got his breath to stay even and went back to bed. And that's the last chapter of this story, so we're done with this crappy story about them making out with each other and having bad dreams. And I don't even, resolve anything. I just talk about, Draco and Hermione, and then Ron and Lavender, and that makes no sense, because I don't even talk about Harry and Ginny, and the story is called The Story of Harry and Ginny's Love Life. I talk about how they make out with each other, and, that's it. Wow, that was pretty crap. Wow. That was a really bad ending to that story. 12-year-old Tori, I'm not impressed. That's just sad. Let's see what we'll get the next time. I think next time I'm going to read to you guys... I don't know. Let's see which other stories I have. I have a bunch. Ooh, I have something from The Outsiders, and I have some more Harry Potter. So let's see what I'll read next. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. DFTBA. Bye!